There's a strange thing that happens in spiritual circles. Someone reads about non-duality, about the illusion of the separate self, and almost immediately they start using phrases like, there is no one here, or the ego is just a thought. And it sounds like progress. It sounds like depth. But watch closely and you'll often see something else underneath it. The ego, the very thing being dismissed, has just found a new costume. Here's the mechanism. The ego's main job, really its only job, is to maintain the sense of being someone important, someone advanced, someone who has it figured out. So when it encounters a teaching that says the separate self is an illusion, the ego doesn't disappear. It does what it always does. It adopts the teaching as a new identity. Now you're not just a person, you're a person who knows the separate self is an illusion. That's not humility, that's a promotion. You can usually spot it by what's missing. A person going through something hard, grief, fear, a relationship falling apart, and the response is flat, detached. It's all just appearances. There's no one to suffer. As though saying those things somehow makes a person more spiritually advanced. That's not freedom. That's another identity wearing a spiritual costume. Seeing through the separate self doesn't necessarily get rid of grief or fear or whatever is actually present. If anything, seeing through the separate self gets rid of the performance, the part that's trying to appear spiritually advanced while those feelings are present. So here's the paradox. Most teachers tell you the ego has to go. It has to be transcended, dissolved, seen through before you can arrive at non-duality. But that instruction, get rid of the ego, is exactly the kind of project the ego loves. Give it a goal, give it a finish line, give it a way to measure itself against other people who haven't gotten there yet. And it will happily run with that for years, decades even. Maybe the question isn't, how do I lose the ego? Maybe it's simpler and a little less flattering. Can you actually look right now and see whether there's a separate self running this, or whether that was simply an assumption nobody ever checked? Not as an achievement, not as something to announce, just looked at. That's where it gets uncomfortable, because if you really look, there's no badge at the end of it. No, I arrived. Just looking to see whether a separate self can actually be found in direct experience. That's all. If you'd like to explore that inquiry more deeply, I go into it in video 25. Can you find this self. Thanks for listening.